Hello everybody. So in today's video I am going to cook our Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm going to cook roasted ham and scalloped potatoes with roasted carrots, actually sauteed carrots, and that's what I'm making for this meal. So happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so I'm going to make this hickory smoked ham here. In Canada, our Thanksgiving is in the beginning of October. I usually film a couple weeks ahead just in case I get sick or anything, so that's why you're seeing it now. So we decided not to have turkey this year. We decided to do ham, so we're going to do ham. So we're going to save the turkey for Christmas. So I'm just going to score the ham here. I like doing this mainly to get the sauce that I put on top of this in amongst all the crevices. That's the main reason why I do this. That, and it looks nice when it comes out of the oven. So I like to make a nice citrusy kind of sauce for my hams. I know everybody does it differently. I know my aunt used to make it with cloves and pineapple. Just want to get this finished scored here. I'll show you what this looks like when it comes out of the oven. Okay, I think that's good. You can see the squares. Let me just wash my hand. Okay, so I'm not going to put any salt on the ham. Ham is quite salty to begin with, but I am going to put some pepper. Ham is one of my kids' favorites, so that's why we chose to do ham rather than turkey. I love turkey, but we're going to do that for Christmas. Okay, so for the sauce, I usually use some brown sugar. The sauce is a little bit sweeter, so keep that in mind. I use either peach, apricot, or mango jam. I use usually what I have ever on hand, but I have half a jar of my homemade mango jam here that I'm going to use. This is actually one of the primary reasons why I make mango jam, is for the sauce. Okay, let's add a little bit of garlic. This is not measurements. I usually do this just by eyeballing, so it's one of my homemade recipes, I guess you could say. This is French's mustard, regular yellow, and then I'm going to put some Dijon in there too, just for a little bit of dimension. This is what helps balance out the sugar. Okay, let's mix this up a little bit. And I put some pepper in here. Just a little bit. I just want to mix in the jam and the brown sugar and the mustard. Okay, so it should look like that. And then I like to take some pineapple juice. Just going to pour a little bit over top and then pour some into the sauce. So I'm just going to incorporate this. And then I'm going to put half of this sauce over top of the ham while it's cooking. And then probably about the last hour, I'll put the rest of the sauce on. I don't want to add too much of it at first, just because I want it to caramelize on top, but I don't want it to burn. Okay, so that's decent. I like to try and get it inside the crevices. This is one of my favorite meals to cook, and I haven't cooked it in a really long time, so my family is excited. That. This would go good with any kind of ham. Doesn't matter which kind, this sauce is perfect for ham. So I just make sure that everything is marinated in the sauce. Pretty much like that. Now I'm going to save the rest of this for putting on afterwards. So I'm going to put this in the oven at 350, probably for at least 2 hours. Maybe a little longer, we'll see. So I've moved on to the scallop potatoes. So I have Yukon Gold potatoes here. I'm just taking some of the eyes off. That's weird that they're growing a little bit of eyes on me, but that's fine. Okay, so I've got my mandolin. I find when I'm making scallop potatoes, I love using the mandolin. It's so much faster. So I'm just going to cut some of these up. Super fast. You just got to be careful you don't slice your fingers. Mine does have a guard, which I don't use all the time. Shh, you didn't hear me say that. I do use it when it gets to like really small potatoes though, like say like this size. I'll use it. It's just a lot easier to use it without it. So for this Thanksgiving, I decided, because we have a lot going on within our family right now, I decided that, or pardon me, we all decided that a nice ham dinner would be sufficient rather than having turkey. But like I did mention previously, we'll have turkey for Christmas. Last year I made prime rib for Christmas. It was really good. I made it for the very first time ever. It was delicious. But I kind of miss turkey a little bit, so I told him as long as I get turkey on either Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'm good. So we chose Christmas. So if it was Christmas, I probably wouldn't film the dinner because it's pretty hectic and there's a lot of steps to a turkey dinner. But for this time, I figured ham dinner is fairly simple and easy to make, and I figured I would film that for you guys. If you see the pies right next to me, I just finished filming a pie video for you guys. It should have came out just previous to this one. If you haven't seen it, it should be in my list. We made a whole bunch of mini pies for dessert for tonight. I'm not filling this entire pan, but I'm going to make it at least half to 3/4. I'm going to have to try and fit this in the oven with the ham. Should be okay though. Okay, let's do one more. Okay. I think that's good. I'll save the other 3 for a different meal. Okay. So I am a firm believer in layers of seasoning. So we're going to put some pepper in. I'm not going to put too much salt, even though potatoes are quite bland, because the cheese has a lot of salt in it. So we're only going to sprinkle. A bit of this. I'm just going to mix it all up so it gets into all the pieces here. I'm not even going to situate these to make them look all beautiful. I'm not. You can if you want, but I find it's not necessary. It looks beautiful no matter what when it comes out. So I like the rustic look. Okay, so we're going to leave it like that. I'm going to rinse my hands, and then we're going to get started making the cheese sauce for the scalloped potatoes. Okay, so for the cheese sauce, I have about a quarter of a cup of butter. I'm going to add a little bit of bacon grease, just for some flavor. It's literally the only reason. I added probably about a tablespoon and a half. So I'm just going to let this melt. This is how I've always made my cheese sauce. So we're making a roux right now. So while this butter is simmering, I like to add the garlic into it so it makes it go throughout the entire sauce, the garlic flavor. Just cook that into the butter there. And then as soon as the butter is melted, which is almost there, we're going to add probably about a quarter of a cup of flour, quarter to half. Okay, I'm going to switch utensils here to my whisk. I like to make sure there's no lumps, so this is when you would get them out. Okay, I'm going to let that cook for a second just to cook the flour down. Okay, looks like it's cooked down enough. So I have some chicken stock. I'm going to add some chicken stock. I do this slowly. I don't like to do it all at once and then try to bring everything to a boil again. Let me give you a closer look here. Okay, and then keep adding some more. See, as it starts to thicken, I add more. Okay. I think this is where we're going to switch into the heavy cream, just to give it a creamier flavor. I like to do it with mainly chicken stock just because there's a few people in my family that are a little bit lactose intolerant. So I don't like to make it completely with milk or cream. But I do add a little bit to it. Let that thicken a minute. And then I'm going to add some regular milk to it. While I'm waiting, I'm going to add some black pepper. You don't want it to be bland, but don't add too much because we already added some to the potatoes. Okay, slowly add some milk into this. Okay, I'm going to wait a minute for this to thicken up. Okay, it's slowly starting to turn a little bit thicker. So I had some of these cheddar cheese slices that I want to use up. So I'm going to melt this into them. It was just from like cheese and crackers kind of thing. So some cheddar cheese in there. And then I have this blend of mozza and cheddar cheese that I'm going to melt into here too. Let's add a bunch of this into there. I'm adding quite a bit. It is cheese sauce. Let me turn this down a little bit. I don't want to burn it. I'm just going to melt all this in, and then I'm going to give it a taste. Okay, I'm going to give it a taste. It's not bad. It needs a little bit more pepper though. I don't want to add too much because I know that it's in the potato too, but it needs a little bit more. Okay, let's go dump this on the scalloped potatoes. Okay, so all I'm going to do is pour this right over top. Okay, I just want to make sure everything's nice and secured in here. Make sure it's all covered. Okay, now I'm going to put some tin foil over this, and I'm going to bake this probably until the ham is done, so probably another hour, hour and a half. So once all of this is done, I will show you the finished product. Oh, actually, the next time you see me, we'll be sauteing some carrots. Okay, so I'm just putting some butter in my pan here. Melt that in. I have this big cutting board full of carrots that I chopped up. So I'm just going to wait for this to melt, and then we're going to saute these carrots. Okay, so I turned it into a little bit of brown butter here. We add a little bit of garlic to this. We add a little bit of olive oil, just so it doesn't burn further. Burn or overcook, pardon me, a better word. Okay. I'm just going to mix it together, make sure they're all nice and coated with the butter and the garlic. I'm going to let this saute for a minute, and then we're going to add some spices. Okay, so while this is simmering, I'm going to add some black pepper. I'm going to add some salt. I got black pepper under my nails now. And then I'm going to add some garlic plus seasoning. This is really good on sauteed vegetables or roasted vegetables. I use it a lot. And that's pretty much all that I'm going to put on this. Just let them saute. There we go. And I'm just going to let them simmer until the rest of the dinner is done. So the next time you see me, everything will be done. And I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so I just took everything out of the oven. I'm just finishing up the sauteed carrots here. I have a little bit of the sauce left over for the ham I'm going to put on top here. Just make it nice and juicy and saucy. Just like that. Doesn't that look delicious? And there's the finished product. So we have our scalloped potatoes, honey smoked ham, hickory smoked ham, and some sauteed carrots. So everyone, it's time for us to have our Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm going to end the video here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.